Hello, thank you so much for visiting here. My name is Sugoroku, and please call me Roku for short. I am now exploring Japan up to all the 47 prefectures. In this video, I will explore Hyogo Prefecture, which is located roughly in the center of Japan's main island and faces both the Sea of Japan and the Seto Inland Sea. With Kobe City as its prefectural capital, it has a population of approximately 5.4 million, making it the seventh most populous prefecture in Japan. Since the Meiji period, commerce and industry have developed through the growth of international trade centered around Kobe port. The prefecture consists of 5 regions, which are Setsu, Harima, Tajima, Tamba, and Awaji. Since Hyogo is quite a large prefecture, I would like to visit at least one city in each area. First, in this video, I will explore the prefectural capital, Kobe City. Let's explore. So, after fixing my trike in the Sannnomiya area, I came to visit this guest house called Maya, where I stayed at when I started traveling my adventure in 2023. And there was a museum near the guest house, which I wanted to visit for a long time, so I started off to explore there. There's like a museum called Hyogo Kenritsu Museum, which is like a Hyogo Prefectural Museum, where actually I tried to visit last time I was here, but it was, I think during the time like renovating or having like a construction, and then the museum was actually very famous for being designed by Ando Tadao, who is one of the leading most prestigious architects in Japan. So yeah, why not going there? So now I'm heading to the museum, and then the building right in front of me should be the museum, and then you see like a yellow and then green weird flags are on the building. I think it's probably like a part of the exhibition. And then actually there's like a building about earthquake, as this the city Kobe is the place where really huge earthquake that happened 30 years ago. And now actually there's like this museum is now having like the exhibition, like special exhibition for that, like a 30th year after that earthquake. So that might be something we can check it out. And actually, so as I mentioned, there's like a building about the earthquake, where you can learn about what happened. The one you can see at the very bottom, like the windows are transparent. That one is the building about the earthquake, I think. So I can stop by there after that too. Okay, here is the museum. Wow. Nice. I really like that. I don't know what kind of trees, but it's you see like all those branches like spreading out on this wall, and then here is the entrance. I don't know. Well, yeah, it says north entrance, so I'm gonna head this way. Yeah. Wow, the ceiling is so high. Look at that. Cool. So inside this museum, you can see a lot of like pieces of artworks, and then this one is like a sculpture made by César, a French artist, I think. And then this is actually like part of the Eiffel plate. And then the title of this artwork is called Restoration, Saisei. So, and then this one was given to wishing for the restoration of this Kobe city after the earthquake hit. So yeah, let's go. So this museum is really spacious actually. So this museum has the regular exhibition of the artworks that was about the Great Earthquake, but actually I don't have time to check all of them now. So this time I want to just check out this Ando gallery, which is like stairs that is going out, and then here. This is the Ando gallery, and then you can have a really nice picture from the top of it. Ooh. I like this. Cool. At the Ando Gallery, you can learn about this architect Tadao Ando's past works and the design process of this museum. as he was explained by himself in the video shown there inside. As some of you might know this, but he was originally a professional boxer, but he traveled the world and became an architect without having a formal architectural education, eventually becoming a world-renowned architect. His extraordinary life reveals a powerfully captivating personality. The video also provided interesting explanations about his art pieces, which I will share soon. And then so it's really just nice to explore inside this museum. It's very spacious, so it's like it can be a really nice walk looking at the sea, and also like high ceiling and also many art pieces. And then there's actually one that is what you can see if you go straight here. So this green apple is like artwork by Ando Tadao actually, and then there's the board. You can see like the explanation about it. And then he was citing a poem by a person called Samuel Ullman, who the poem is called Youth. And in this poem he said that like youth isn't just about the specific timing of a life. It's like a state of mind, not being afraid of trying new things, like challenge yourself. Then Mr. Ando was saying that this green apple is like really like not being ripe yet. It's like something that is still shining, seeking the hope in the tomorrow. So that's why he created this one. Then and also if you look behind, you see this sea, and also there's like artworks. Like there's like a figure of a girl which made by Yanobe Kenji. I think he's from this Kansai area, and he's also known to cat kind of work, which is like a space cat. Here is the front look of the girl. Yeah, so from here you can see that building with that sticking out ceiling. I feel like it has like it can be seen as a building in a bigger scale. I guess that's like the effect. I would also like to briefly touch the works exhibited in the museum. In the permanent exhibition, there were works themed around the Great Hanshin Earthquake. The piece that left the strongest impression on me personally was this one. The lower portion featured news photographs depicting scenes from the earthquake. On the tree shown in the photo, someone had left a prayer to preserve this tree. Inheriting this wish, the artist painted a magnolia flower in the upper portion of the work. It was a piece that expressed hope for reconstruction. The museum also had many other interesting exhibits, including works by renowned sculptors such as Giacometti. Okay, I've just finished exploring in the museum. It had an interesting collection of the the works of the artists who are somehow related to Kobe, this city, prefecture, Kobe city, and many of the artworks that were exhibited there have been influenced by the impact of the earthquake. So yeah, and then got to know how big that impact would have been. Yeah, seeing so many lives taken, and then seeing being surrounded by so many buildings that were destroyed by the power of it. Yeah, I thought it was very good to see the works of the people, the artists, born and raised in this Kobe city, and then especially the ones that are Western style painters called Koiso Ryohei and Kanayama Heizo. Yeah, those were the two biggest famous ones in Japan. And then actually their collections were very rich in that museum. And also they were having sculptures that were collected from overseas, such as Giacometti, and then also George Siegel, whose sculpture was said to have modeled actually tracing using a real people's body. So that was really realistic. Yeah, those are the ones that I really especially like the most. Okay, so I finally came to this place called, so this is where I visited after the museum. It's called Hitoto Bousai Mirai Center. So here, as you can see, that numbers were meaning that actual timing that the earthquake, the Great Hanshin-Awaji earthquake happened which was 1995, 5:46 a.m. It was January, I think, 17th, so I think so. And then with magnitude of 7.3. And then here you can experience a lot of like exhibitions about earthquake actually happening. You know, you can experience how it was really like. So, and then, you know, yeah, it would have been a good experience to be here. But unfortunately now today it's closed already. So, and it's probably talking about also how we can you know, cope with the natural disasters. So, which would be really helpful in any way. So this one is like at night it's gonna illuminate like this. Yeah, looking really nice. Yeah, I like it. Hey guys, so I just parked my car near the guest house, and then the guest house I'll be staying at tonight is kind of really, I think it's a really unique place. So this really doesn't look like a guest house. It's called Yumenomado. It's in a place called Shinkachi area in the Kobe city, which is known for having like a many, kind of like a deep place of having many like izakaya stuff, and I haven't explored it yet. And then, but this place Yumenomado, meaning like a window of dream, and then also nomado means like, you know, being a nomad, you know, which is like, you know, people who explore, you know, without staying in one place. So I think this is like a really nice name, and somehow it has like a kind of like a fantasy I don't know feeling, because you can see in many places this kind of a rabbit ornament, and then they also have like a cafe, and here this one is like a crepe shop which is already closed, and then they have this like really nice looking stair, and then if you go up you'll see the entrance. Here's also the entrance. It says tuktuk. I don't know, maybe the name of the person who's owning this place, I don't know. And then here you can probably like rent a bicycle, and then let's go inside. It has a nolen, yeah, it says hostel and the cafe. And then here it's like a really kind of having like a mixed feeling of Japanese and Western style. So here's like rabbit, and then let me take off my shoe here. And hello. Wow, it's like this. Wow, it is nice. Inside, chairs, different types of chairs, and then cookies. So they open cafes like from 12 to 7 p.m. And then if you go forward, you see this Japanese type of room, and then there's like guitars. And if you go further, here's like a bathroom where you wash your hands with this. I think this mirror is also like in the rabbit shape, I guess. Yeah, I'm really wondering which country this owner is from. And here, this is like a space for people who are staying for night, and there's like a kotatsu. So, and then here's also the map of the, you know, and then all the photos of the people who stayed here. Yeah, it's the bathroom. Here's the kitchen. Wow, interesting. Okay, hi guys. So I just came to this place called Sannnomiya Station, the biggest, probably the biggest major station in Kobe city actually. And this is like a hub of traffic, so which is connected to 5 lines like a JR, Hanshin, Hankyu, and like a monorail. It's called a port rail, and then one other rail, so which is, you know, really like a big station. And then so for the next day, actually, so these 3 days starting from 22nd of February to 24th is like a three consecutive holidays in Japan, 3 連休.
And then, so for these days, I will be exploring this Kobe city. But I have a friend joining my travel this time. Here's my friend, Manat.
Hello.
He's actually stayed in this Kobe city for 4 years.
Yes.
Yeah, since he's been to the college in Kobe city. So today, this time, we're gonna have lunch. And my mission of traveling, one of the missions is to experience like local food in every city. And then this Kobe is, some people might know, Kobe, one of the most famous one is called Kobe beef, and which is also like the name, origin of the name of the beloved professional basketball player Kobe Bryant. His name is, I heard the story that his father loved Kobe beef so much, so he named his son after that. So, well, yeah, I haven't had it before actually, so maybe the first time to have it. So, okay. So this Sannnomiya Station is like a hub of traffic, as I said. So there are many restaurants around the station, and then the place that we are heading right now is called Kitano area, which is like it's known for the international housings where like the people from abroad used to live, and then those houses are still remained as a kind of like a museum where you can visit and sit inside. So it's I think I'm gonna mention like the history of those places, but before going there we'll be having the Kobe beef restaurant. Yeah. So actually today's really windy, like the temperature is like 5 degrees Celsius, so it's really cold. And then actually for these few days all over Japan, it's said that we are having like the coldest weather in the year, so we're gonna be really careful for the weather actually. And then, since it's so windy, I get my hair brown to my eyes, so I'm wearing mask to avoid. Okay, just arrived, like I took a 3 minutes walk from the station. It's called Kobe beef Miyabi. I got to know this place through the Korean YouTuber who is like doing a lot of activities in Japan, and Jeho-san. And then this one is receiving many awards for providing Kobe beef. So yeah, let's go check it out. She's one of the, right now, like the top female figure skater in Japan. So these are the menu for the lunch, and then they have a really great selection of beef. And then the one that I recommended was this one. So it's like you compare like different parts of the beef, but I want to be still be humble, so I chose this one. Still good, I think it's like a 220 grams, and then each month, and then yeah, it's still a good deal, I guess. And then yeah, that's what I'm gonna have. And we've decided to have this Kobe Toro for one piece, and then so that's gonna be, I think, good.
ありがとうございます。あれ私と聞こえてる？
Very entertaining.
これが神戸牛ポーズです。はい、神戸ビーありがとうございます。
Okay, いただきます。I'm gonna have a salad.
右と左の半分ずつ。その状態で品評会にかけて、合格したら神戸牛。
なるほど。
それ以外は始ま牛。品評会にかけるということは優劣がついてる。
So the chef, Mr. Hinokami is the name, which appeared in Demon Slayer. So it's really cool, I thought. Anyway, he was great at entertaining customers, sharing his great knowledge about Kobe beef. From here, I'd like to share what I learned about Kobe beef, both from his explanation and my own research. It might be a bit long, but I hope you will enjoy it while enjoying his beautiful knife skills on this iron plate. So Kobe beef is the highest grade of beef from Tajima cattle raised in Hyogo Prefecture. Its official Japanese name is Kobe Niku. To qualify as Kobe beef, cattle must meet strict standards for bloodline, raising methods, and meat quality. Tajima cattle, which have maintained their pure bloodline since the Edo period, are considered the most prestigious among Japan's top 3 Wagyu brands, which are Kobe beef, Matsuzaka beef, and Omi beef. In 2009, Kobe beef was recognized internationally as one of the world's most expensive foods. So let me unveil the history of Tajima cattle. Have you heard of the term Wagyu? Wagyu refers to beef cattle breeds developed from Japanese native stock specifically for meat production. There are 4 breeds of Wagyu: Japanese black, Japanese brown, Japanese pod, and Japanese shorthorn, with Japanese black making up 19% of all Wagyu. Tajima cattle belong to the Japanese black category, and remarkably, 99.9% of Japanese black cattle carry Tajima cattle bloodlines. So why do Tajima cattle have such strong genetics? The origin of Tajima cattle can be traced back to cattle that were raised as livestock on the Korean peninsula in 390 BC in the Yayoi period, which were brought to the Tajima region of Hyogo Prefecture along with immigrant settlers. Since meat consumption was prohibited in Japan for over 1,000 years since the Nara period, these cattle were valued for carrying loads and farming work. During the construction of Osaka Castle in the Warring States period, Tajima cattle were chosen to transport stones for building the castle walls. You may forget your lunch, but don't forget your umbrella. This saying reflects how rainy the Tajima region of Hyogo Prefecture is, with significant temperature differences between day and night. The mountains were rich in water, wild grass, and medicinal herbs. In summer, the cattle were kept in pastures high in the mountains away from villages, where they grew strong and healthy by eating nutritious feed and traveling up and down steep mountain paths. In an era before developed roads and transportation, breeding with cattle from other regions was difficult in Tajima, which was surrounded by steep mountains and valleys. Breeding continued only within these valleys. This resulted in successful preservation of superior genes and established the Tajima cattle bloodline. This is known as close breeding. When the Meiji era began and the ban on meat consumption was lifted, increased demand for beef led to government-initiated breeding improvements of cattle throughout Japan, including Tajima cattle. However, the improvements failed with Tajima cattle as their large body made them unsuitable for work in narrow terraced rice fields, and they developed rough temperaments and decreased meat quality. So purebred Tajima cattle nearly went extinct. During this crisis, the only 4 Tajima cattle that had escaped breeding improvements were discovered in a remote mountain village in the Oji district of Kamitown, Hyogo. The cattle were called cattle of miracles. Located at an altitude of 700 meters and far from other villages, the natural isolation of this area had protected these cattle from breeding modifications. One of these 4 remaining cattle became the ancestor of Tajirigo bull, known as the Great Father of Wagyu, which went on to produce astounding 1,500 offspring in its lifetime. Today's 3 major Japanese Wagyu brands, Kobe beef, Matsuzaka beef, and Omi beef, can all trace their lineage back to this Tajirigo bull. The highest quality meat from the already superior Tajima cattle came to be known as Kobe meat or Kobe beef. Authentic Kobe beef bears a certification mark in the shape of the chrysanthemum, the prefectural flower of Hyogo. It has now become a world-renowned luxury beef brand known as Kobe beef.
なるほど。
少し醤油とわさび乗せるだけで多分大丈夫です。
ありがとうございます。Let's eat. いただきます。So what I recommended is that you eat without taste, without putting anything first.
Ogni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano, delle belle tornando al riposo, non ci sei situato cibo d'amore, delle belle tornando al riposo.
How's the taste? I'm so impressed. Kobe beef. Amazing. Amazing. With wasabi.
entertainer.
So we have just finished eating Kobe beef lunch, and it was amazing, very delicious. And then the chef and the people working there, Mr. and Mrs. Hinokami, were all really nice and really entertaining. Explaining you great information about the Kobe beef. So after that, I came to this place called Ikuta Shrine, which is said to be the the center. It's located really close to the Sannnomiya Station, and then this shrine is believed to have built in BC 201, which is like super old, and this has been here so long time. So and then like during the festival, during the February to March, there's like a palm trees you can see in this shrine. So many people come here to visit. So it's one of the place worth visiting if you are visiting Kobe and the Sannnomiya area. Like here is the Honden. So since this is like holidays, there's many people visiting this place as well. Wow. This Komainu looks really strong, like with the muscle. Yeah, interesting. And then here's the main Honden. Oh, now it's the priest is now reading chants. So this explains how to worship. So we are now heading to the Kitano Ijinkan area. Here, this time we won't stop here, but this coffee shop, there are so many coffee shops in this area, and then this one, Kitano Coffee Nishimura Kitano Ten. This place, in summer, they have like a coffee put in ice, and which is really photogenic. And then this is one of the recommended cafes I really liked here. Oh my gosh, it's now started snowing. Unbelievable. Probably the first snow I'm experiencing this year. And here's the next place I'd like to recommend. So this Starbucks is really popular. The building is in Western style, really looking beautiful with the green and the white color. This place was once used to be like the place for like people who settled from abroad. So like here, so many buildings are like that. So as I said, so this Kobe is featured by its international culture. It's actually started after the port in Kobe city opened in 1868, which is right after the Edo period ended. So from then there are many merchants and diplomats who settled in Kobe city. So there are many like this kind of buildings having like the Western style. Since it's really crowded inside, so I just take photos from the outside. Okay, let's go out. Then if you close the Starbucks,
I just knew it was like
then you keep walking up like 1-2 minutes. You get to see the area where it's called as Kitano Ijinkan. Okay, along the way you see a lot of like nice shops. You can buy snacks and then also have lunch. You see that also like the bus is also in the Western style and it looks really cute. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so this is the main area, and you see this visitor center, so you can get information about this area in here. Okay, we've just stopped by this ticket place, and we're gonna see English house, Ryokan Nagaya, and then Ben's house. So yeah, that's actually things I haven't seen last time. I didn't see last time. Okay, actually this one is the one that I saw last time. It's like a German house, actually. And then the ones we are going to go visit is this England house, Ben's house, and French, this one, Ryokan Nagaya. Looks good. And for the these houses, you pay like 1,500. And you can increase the houses you want to visit with like increase of the ticket price. So we've decided to visit this Ben's house.
So from now on, I would like to share the foreign houses I visited through pictures I took because it was not allowed to take videos inside. The first house I visited is Ben's house. This was built back in 1902. It was built to express the world of Ben Nelson, a British noble who was crazy about hunting. Walking inside felt like you hopped into a time machine, as I was surprised to see a great collection of stuffed animals, including this massive polar bear, Arctic wolves, and bison. The walls were also packed with very unique artworks that will definitely catch your eyes. The second one is this French house, built in 1908. This charming spot used to be an apartment building for foreigners. Inside, it's like a treasure chest of French art from the 19th century. You've got Napoleon-era furniture, stunning glasswork by Émile Gallet, and even vintage Louis Vuitton trunks. Well, to me, the best part was that they have recreated the scenes from the movie Amélie, my favorite movie, with the BGM of this song played in the room, which was really nice. And there was this mind-blending black and white room, and the awesome artwork by Magritte, the surrealist artist who made it big in Paris. You can definitely enjoy the taste of France inside the house. The third one I visited was this English house. It was very cool that you can get the serious Sherlock Holmes vibes inside this house. This place is decked out with fancy antique furniture and William Morris fabrics, but the real star is the spot-on recreation of Holmes and Dr. Watson's famous pack at 221B Baker Street. They also have an Inverness cave and this deer stroker hat, so you can really look like a detective. But inside was truly great, and I especially liked these small items which Holmes used.
So we are just finished exploring the 3 foreign houses, 3 Ijinkans, and then those were really interesting actually. Much more interesting than I expected. So as I've said, the Kobe port was opened at the beginning of the Meiji period, which was in 1868. Then after that, many people from abroad settled down to this Kobe city. And then current Daimar area, which is like the center of this Kobe city, is said to be the area where those people settled, many of them settled down. But actually, so this Kitano area was actually like a rice field on a hill. So many people noticed that, oh, this is a good place to, settle down as well. So that's why they have started, many merchants and diplomats started building houses here. Yeah. Okay, we are also stopped by this Kyu Tomaste Jutaku, so which is like a it's called Kazamidori no Yakata in Japanese. As you can see, it's like a bird that you put at the top of the house, which it tells you like the direction of wind. And then now this one is Kyu Tomaste. So this is like built by a German merchant lived in here, Gottfried Thomas. And then this building actually was once used for a TV drama in the NHK in Japan in 1977. So this one's probably kind of like a symbolic site of this Kitano Ijinkan area. I got to the inside last time, so not going there this time. But still, it's really nice looking. It's said to be the only one building with like having like a red brick. Okay, now we are at the Kobe station. That is just one stop away by the fast train in the JR. Then, as I've said, so the Kobe is known for its great sea, as it has a port, and then there are like a lot of buildings that you can enjoy the scenic view of the ocean. So that's where we are going. And then I just bought clothing, it's called Heat Tech by Uniqlo, one of the most popular clothing brand in Japan. Which also has like branches in the world. Then I just bought it since it's too cold today right now. So we are now heading to Harborland. That's where you can take a great view, great photo of like a very symbolic image of Kobe city, including like famous buildings. So this shopping mall is called Umie, and as you could tell, the building is kind of like a European style, I think, like this. And then there's like actually a Morozov, which is like a Kobe originated chocolate shop, which actually started a Valentine's Day gift in Japan for the first time. So which actually created like a kind of like a culture here. Okay, and then so the building I'm now seeing in front of, it's called the Mosaic Garden, and then you are already seeing like the like a red building that is Kobe Port Tower, which is like a symbolic building in this Kobe city. Here is also the view you can get from this Mosaic Garden, and then well, yeah, there's a lot of buildings. Okay, so wow, it's like a shopping mall, so you can stop by and buy stuff. So I just remembered one thing. So today, February 22, is called Nankinmachi. It's like a cat day in Japan, the day of a cat in Japan. The reason why is that we say meow in Japanese, meow like a sound of cat. We can say nya in Japanese, and then the sound of nya sounds like ni, meaning two in English. So the February 22, 222, it sounds like nya nya nya, and so that's why we call it like the day of a cat. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any real cat today, but it's the great day to celebrate that we have we are living with cats. So yeah, happy cat day to cats in the world. Here there's like a mosaic big Ferris wheel. Yeah, oh, it's huge. And then next to it you can get into Kobe Anpanman Children's Museum and the mall. So Anpanman is like a really popular, beloved character in Japan that is aired in TV for many years. Since I was a kid, I watched that too, and then it's still loved by many people. Yeah, it has a really cute characters. Like the one that you're seeing is called Dokin-chan, and then the main character is called Anpanman. So we finally came to this point where you can see all the symbolic buildings in Kobe Port Tower, and also this one is like a Oriental hotel, with that interesting shape. Yeah, and when it gets darker, all of them are illuminated, so that's gonna look really beautiful. Actually, on that side, there's like a park where you can walk around. It's called American Park. And then there's like a symbol, like a statue of like a word saying "Be Kobe," and then you can take pictures there, and it's really symbolic. Oh, here you see like a ship, just shipping in front of us. Oh, looking really nice. That's about it for Kobe. It's so cold actually. So we are now going to Chinatown actually to have dinner. Okay, let's go. So one more info. So when I actually explored the American Park last year, 2 years ago already, last time I saw the statue of family, and then with a description saying that there were actually after the port was opened at the beginning of Meiji period, there were actually people who were who went to abroad for doing like seeking the new businesses. So it's not only just the people who came into Japan to settle down, but also there were actually people who went to the world, so seeking the new possibility. So that was probably made this city more international. Yeah. So as this view is awesome, there's a couple who were taking like a wedding photos here. Wow, looks so cold. The lady, my gosh. So I forgot to mention. So as you can see, there's like mountains just right behind those buildings. So it's really close to like the mountain and the sea are really in one place, which is really like in a short distance. So that's making this city interesting place to visit, I think. And then, but when I was driving the car actually yesterday, I noticed that there are like a lot of hills. So that was kind of like I didn't like driving here that much. So yeah, that's like one thing. And then also Marty told me that when he was in college, he had to like drive a bike, since using bicycle is gonna be really hard because there's so many hills. So yeah, that's one thing that if you would like to live in here, something you maybe need to care about. So we are now taking a walk to the Chinatown from this harbor land, and then actually I just bought hot coffee can, which is since my hands are so cold, and it's now warming it up by this can, which is really helping me out. And then now we are just right below this Kobe Port Tower, and then Marty told me that during the summer there's like a fireworks festival around this area, so it's gonna be really good, I guess. So we are now walking in this Kobe Motomachi Shotengai shop street, and then this is actually leading to the Chinatown shop street. We found this Nestle cafe. It's a Nestle shop, which only shop sells the products by Nestle. So as I've said, as this city is very international, there are actually many companies, foreign companies that is based in Japan, and then their headquarters actually, many of them are located in this Kobe city. For example, it's not right now in Kobe, but used to be the P&G, Procter & Gamble, has a headquarters, Japanese office in this Kobe city. And also the one that I just showed, like Nestle, it's a company from Switzerland, but they have headquarters in Kobe as well. And then also they have developed Japanese original brands, such as one of them is called KitKat, which can mean in Japanese, you're gonna win something. Yeah, kitto katsu. Kitto, surely you will win, something like that. So that is so during the time of for students to enter the university, taking the big exams, many of them buy this KitKat as a fortune snack. Yeah, so that's interesting part of the Japanese student culture. Yeah. So here is a Chinatown. So you can see many symbols of Chinese culture, is it dragon, I guess? So this is a map of this Chinatown, and it doesn't say where I am, but anyway, yeah. So you see Chinese lanterns and many shops here. So this is pretty much why we have this is because of this international aspect of this Kobe city, and it's pretty much same as reason for the Yokohama as having a biggest Chinatown in Japan, as the Yokohama city is also very popular for its international aspect, having the port open to the world, like the Kobe port as well. Oh wow, it's interesting. The people are sitting there and they're having stuff. Yeah, looks interesting. And then also these are the zodiac. I think zodiac, a statue of zodiac, I guess. It's a rabbit, and it's a hen, and that one is probably a dog. Snake. でも十二支だ。It's a horse. So it should be zodiac. I think it's placed in the a direction of the zodiac, I guess. Yeah, there's a Kobe beef steak. Yeah, it's not a restaurant. You buy it at the spot. The price is Kobe beef. The very good one is 60 grams for 1,500 yen. So it's very reasonable, I think. Of course, it's not you sit and eat. Wow, looks good. We've decided to get into Rokumeso. It's a China restaurant. We just ordered a yamucha set, for 1,000 yen, but having small plates of 12 different kinds of food. Yeah. See what's cold outside.
We walked a lot.
だから知らんくて、そういうのは最初から言うわけ。小馬鹿にするだけ最初から言うわけ。だから。どう座ってみた？
情報いただきました。
ほんまじゃ。
So this is the Western Gate. ごちそうさまでした。So when you come from that, west gate of Chinatown, you see a building called Daimaru, like a huge building of shopping mall, and it's one of the biggest, probably like shopping mall in Japan, Hyakuta. And actually, so these areas, used to be like the Kyojuku, like a residential area for like the people who settled down in this, in this Kobe from abroad. And then actually from December, it's like about a month. There's like illumination here. It's called Luminaria in Kobe, and then that's said to be like the biggest illumination event in the Western Japan. And then that illumination actually started after the earthquake hit here, which is to cheer up the people living in its city. So yeah, during that winter you can come visit to see that as well. So one thing I want to share about this Kobe city is that if you start exploring this city, you can notice that there's so many like shopping streets, like shotengai, that's really long actually, leading to like, for example, the one that I'm walking right now, it's like looks like kind of like an endless. Yeah, I can't see the exit. So the reason why we have so many like shopping streets in this Kobe city is that it's like the same reason for like Osaka and also Ueno area in Tokyo. So after the World War II, Japan got defeated by the US in 1945. So the people had a shortage of food and many of products. So then the black market emerged in those places, including this Kobe city as well. So one of the reasons that those black markets emerged in this city is that, so as I said, since this was like a hub of the businesses, as it has a port and open to the world, and there were many products imported to this place, and also it has the connection with international organizations. So like the US. Actually, the products used by the U.S. Army were also sold in the black markets. So those are like reasons why these black markets were emerged and prospered in this city. And it actually played a role to making the current shopping streets, like shotengai. It kind of like became like a basis for having the many of them right now. So that's like a interesting information, I guess. Okay, now I'm in the parking area near the Shinkachi station, and I'm now going to drive to Akase City, since that was the only place I could find for staying in a hotel. Because of this, 3 連休, there are so many people who booked the hotel, so the prices were incredibly high in this Kobe city. Okay, so I'm gonna drive there like for about 40-50 minutes. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna drive really safely. Try to. Yeah, so I've just arrived at the hotel room, and then let's guys, kanpai.
Please let me know how you thought about the video, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and